chats
That's
with me. I
okay.
really appreciate it.
That's okay.
All right. All right, so my guest here for the interview is Mr. Gregory V. Smith, otherwise known as Barry Burton from the PS1 Resident Evil. Thank you for being here. Happy to have you. All right.
My pleasure. My
All
pleasure.
right, great. All right, so have you played any Resident Evil games? Have you played anything in the series or?
I'm not much of a, sorry, I'm not much of a gamer. I played Resident Evil 1
Uh huh.
and I played Resident Evil 1. That's it. Um,
Of course. Let's see. And then who did you play in Resident Evil 1 for people that are new to this interview? Who did you play in Resident Evil 1?
beg your pardon?
Who did you play as in Resident Evil 1?
But I played I can't remember. It's Andrew 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 Joseph organised for Charlie,
Uh-huh.
who played Chris, and Eric, who played Wesker, and myself to all get together, and we played the game together. I think I was. Can I be Barry? I think I was Barry. I shot a lot of things,
Yeah.
and I got eaten a lot. I got killed a lot um, by the dogs and zombies and
Yeah.
things like that.
But
Yeah, it
you
was too busy laughing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember when we first played it, my brother and I and my stepdad, we were laughing but we were terrified. It was scary.
Yeah,
But
we were too busy laughing our heads off at each other for failing.
we
And
loved your
I think
character
we
the
treated,
most.
yeah, so did I. I like myself the
Yeah,
most.
there you go.
Um, um, we uh, we kind of had I think Andrew put a patch or something in it so he couldn't actually die. We kept having unlimited lives. We kept coming back to life all the time. And so we thought we were doing really good. We thought we're really good at this game. And he said, no, 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 you died in the first minute, but we just kept you alive. So that kind of upset us. It deflated our egos a bit. We all thought we were super, but we weren't. We were average, very average.
uh so I gotta ask this because you played the role of Barry Burton. Oops, my
Yep.
microphone just fell. And I've heard stories that I think you were a school principal and either you were on vacation to Japan or you were on like a school trip to Japan and they kind of pulled you
No, no,
aside and they said you look like our drawing. Do you want to audition? What's the real story with how you got
it's
the role?
pretty close.
Okay.
You're close. I actually, in 1995, my government, New South Wales teacher, New South Wales government, asked me to go to Japan for a year. Gave me the option to go to Japan for a year and work there because I'd been learning Japanese, and they had to have a teacher exchange. So there's a teacher from Australia went to Japan, and a teacher from Australia came to Australia. From Japan went to Australia, and the person going had backed out, so they couldn't do it, and it left everyone embarrassed. The New South Wales government, the education part was embarrassed because the Japanese were upset, not upset, but they're disappointed because they wanted a teacher to go to Japan. And so they rang me up and said, "Oh, would you like to go to Japan?" And I said, "Oh, I really hadn't thought about it." They said, "Yeah, look, go. We'll organise it. We'll organise your airfare. We'll organise this, and we'll organise accommodation for you." So I went to Japan, and I taught in a school in Tokyo um, for a year as an English teacher, or American English teacher. I had to speak American, and which you wonder what that is. Speaking American is saying things like vase instead of vase, plaid instead of check. Like you had to use American words instead of English Australian words. Uh, Hood instead of bonnet, all those things. Trunk instead of boot
Hmm.
in a car. We have all these funny words in Australia. Sauce instead of ketchup, all those things. Anyway, I had to talk American, and I was visiting a friend who was who happened to be the chief of police in Tokyo, and I was visiting him, and this guy found me in the streets, and he must have been on his coffee break, and came up and said, "Yeah, look, you look like the drawing. Would you like to? Can you act?" I went, "Oh yeah, sure, I can do anything." And he said, "Come with me," and he had me sign a document, which I got a little bit of money, but Capcom kept the rest, and we that was it. They just kind of then went from there. They did a bit of we kind of I think I had to wear meat. We had fitting for clothes
Mm-hmm.
and all those kind of things, and got to and kind of makeup, looking at what they do for makeup. And then they cut my hair to look like Barry, and trim my beard, and had a bushy beard in those days, and they trimmed it right down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was just a luck of the draw.
That's crazy.
Um, it very, very, it was just the luck of the draw.
Right place at the
Just
right time.
exactly an hour earlier, hour later, might never have happened.
That is so crazy how just the nick of time, right place at the right time, and now you're in this game that's like a cult phenomenon. Like people like me, like
Yeah,
I approached you and just said, can I just talk to you? Like it's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
I didn't even know it was a cult phenomenon. I had no idea because they didn't tell us anything about it. They didn't tell us anything. Um, they wanted to keep it secret because it was a new idea to put real people in a game, and the director had he had all his plans, but he couldn't speak English, so he had to have an interpreter all the time. And yeah, it was really interesting to do, but we didn't know much at all. We were pretty well in the dark about what it was
yeah.
the whole time. Yeah, it was interesting to do it. Like uh, some people said, we look really good because we look confused at the end, like in that helicopter. We're going to come back, and
Yeah.
it's someone made a comment one. You all look really confused and disoriented and worried because you don't know what's happening. I said we had no idea what we were doing. We were just told to stand there. We didn't,
Well, I mean,
so we're all looking confused.
yeah. Your pilot just took
It
off.
was
I'd be
perfect.
confused. Yeah. No, I thought the acting was fantastic.
Yeah. Well, there was a statement made once, but the director's name, what's the director's name again?
Shinji
The head
Mikami.
guy, Shinji Mikami. He's a nice guy. Since met him again a few months ago on video. We spoke to him a few months ago, and with JJ from Resident of Evil People, JJ and
Gotcha.
Andrew, they spoke with him, and we made little videos, and they had pictures of us now and then, and he was really impressed, and he laughed and whatever else. He got very excited, but he did make a statement at one stage that he wished he'd used professional actors.
No.
I went,
No, no, no. It was great. I think that's part of the charm of the first game was your
yeah,
guys' real
and he,
reactions to that kind of stuff.
yeah, it was because we were really like it was all exciting. We were doing it like when I had the in Australia. We don't have guns. Guns in Australia
Yeah.
just don't happen. And if you have a gun in your house, well, you have to have so many licenses to have it, and these big safes to lock it up, and it's so many. There's a lot of rules about guns in Australia. We're really, I wouldn't say anti-gun, but we just don't have guns. We just don't
Yeah.
use them as part of our life. And anyway, um, it kind of it was yeah, and getting to play with that Colt Python, the Python gun, and all that was really exciting for me. Yeah, it was good fun.
You're a
And
natural
it
wording it
was
in the credits.
yeah, well, I'd never done it before. It was all new. And so,
Uh,
and they cut out some really good bits. Like it was a really good one. I point the gun at the thing and bang, like it was really good. Yeah, it was good fun.
Aw,
And then and then they yeah, and so it was good fun, and we were confused. We had no idea what it was. They didn't tell us anything. Even when it was finished, they didn't tell us anything.
wow.
Except when I went about 3 weeks later, I went a week or so, a couple of weeks later, I went to pick up the. They paid me for doing it. I went to pick up the money, and the guy told me it was a video game. And I went, oh, good. Can I get something of it? No. Can I have a copy? No.
Oh
Okay.
man.
Um, yeah.
Did you have any
Can I
students
get a picture?
recognize you?
No. Only one or two, a couple. And it wasn't when it was just when it came out about,
Ah,
I was, when I was in Australia in 1990, and then about 1996, 1997,
yeah.
after it came out, I think it was released in 96, wasn't it, in Australia,
I believe
or
so. Yeah,
thereabouts?
95, 96, right around there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 96. And when it came out in '96, a couple of kids walked up one day and said, "Are you in a video game?" I went, "Yeah, I think so. I think it was a video game. Yeah, yeah." And they went, "Oh, good." And that was it. And they walked away. And yeah, no one ever. And then nothing happened really to 1997, 2017. Nothing happened to 2017. Yeah.
Pretty
So
quiet,
I
huh?
just kind of went on with life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went back to Australia, became a principal, but like became a principal of other schools, and yeah, just got on with my life.
Wow.
Remembered it. I remembered I was this guy in a video game. I didn't even know my name. They didn't even tell me my name. Um, like Barry Burton, they didn't even tell me that. No, yeah. So I went on to the next 25 years without even knowing a thing about it. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
When did
Or 20
you
years or something. Yeah.
when did you realize that you knew the character's name and people started approaching you and you're like, wow, this is huge. When did that happen?
Well, 2017, a fellow called Frederick. Frederick's his first name. He's right into Resident Evil, and he lives in France. He pretty smart guy, I think, with computers. That he worked. I just retired in 2016, and he worked out the school. He somehow worked out who I was from um, a photo in the paper. Local. I was in the paper a lot, and he worked out who I was from a photo in the paper.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did. I don't know how he even got a copy of the paper because they didn't have my full name. They had me as Gregory. I was Australian, and somehow he found me. And then he worked out. He cracked the code to the email addresses for the Department of Education in Australia
Wow.
in my school. And the next thing he emailed my school and said, "Oh, this is Gregory Smith. Were you in Resident Evil?" And when I was down there one at near the school, and the secretary came out with this bit of paper and said, "I printed this off." And I thought, "Oh, you beauty! I'm going to make some more money. Maybe they're going to pay me royalties." Hey, yay. And then no, it wasn't. Um, and I knew about it before then, but I wasn't too sure. My son-in-law had told me. That's right. My son-in-law, a few years before, had looked it up, and he came and said, "This is you." And yeah, on the internet. I went, "Oh yeah, it is too."
Yeah.
And at that point, I did contact Charlie and said hello to Charlie on Facebook and said hello to him and all that. And we were kind of Facebook friends talking to
Oop.
each other. Was really good. He was the only one that could act. The rest of us couldn't. Anyway, long story short, and so Frederick, and then it was okay. A few people sent me. He put something up on Facebook, and a lot of people guy made a video, a Facebook clip about finding me and all of that, finding Greg Smith and all those kind of things. And then yeah, it was pretty quiet, and a few people sent me things to sign and posters, and I signed lots of posters, thinking they're probably on-sold them now.
Yeah.
Um, so I did that, but it all kind of happened in about 2020, and I can't thank him enough.
Yeah.
Andrew Joseph, um, he comes up all Andrew Joseph. He's a really good guy, and he contacted me in 2022 and said, "Could I do an interview like this with you,
Yeah. Yeah.
with him?" And he had Charlie and Eric, and they were in America, and Charlie was going down from to Utah from San Francisco, and Eric was driving down as well, I think, and they were meeting in Utah, and I said, "Oh, gee, I'd really like to do that instead of I'd like to be there in person instead of being just on the internet." And he go, "Oh, we can do the same." And then he worked out all these things he could do, and so he somehow organised to fly me there. He
Wow.
said, "Can you be in Utah?" He said, "Can you be in Utah on the 6th of June?" I went, "Yep, I'll be in Utah on the 6th of June.
Nice.
Just give me just help me with the airfare
Yeah.
and some accommodation, and I'll be there." And sure enough, he got an air ticket for me, and um, next thing, this was in May, so it wasn't. And next thing in June, I'm in America. It was just after COVID, so I had to have all these COVID tests, and they wouldn't let. They had to jump through all these hoops to get there. And we got to Utah, and we and it was great. Andrew was a really lovely guy. Um, Charlie was great. Eric was great, and we met up and we did full day of interviewing, playing the game,
Yeah.
and then another day he made a teaser for a movie we're making, hopefully this year. Can't tell
Okay.
you too much about it. It's all top secret. It's going to come out soon, but Andrew wants to make um, the next installment on from from Resident Evil 1, and
Perfect.
he, he's going to make the next installment. I can't tell you too much about it,
Hey, that's fine.
but I can't say any more than I've got the script. The first script my dog ate, so they had to give me a second script.
Oh
The
man.
dog ate the first script. um, he went zombie on me and ate he's a zombie dog some days and does weird things, and he ate I had the script on the table, and next thing he ate it, tore it apart. Anyway, obviously he didn't like it, so they made change. I told him to change it because the dog didn't like the script, so they made changes and give Barry more words. No, but Andrew did a film. We did a filming that when I got to fly a helicopter, or pretend I was flying a helicopter,
Oh
and
wow.
it was great fun. I had the green screen behind it, and it just looks like I'm flying the helicopter. It was so much fun in the helicopter and doing the filming and talking to Charlie in the back, and it was great fun. Yeah, we did it, and Andrews, but yeah, again, it's all planned this year, and something big's going to happen. It'll be good,
That's awesome.
really good. Yeah, it's really good.
And it sounds like you still
Um,
keep in touch with your old castmates?
oh, they're great people. They are the loveliest people.
Yeah.
Um, Charlie is one of the nicest guys you'd ever met. He's into motorbikes like me. We have a great, when we get together, it's great fun. He likes it. He likes a bit of a joke. He's just so much fun. And Eric Wesker, he's just such he has a dry sense of humor. You never know if he's serious or not. Like he's just such a lovely guy. And they're all really good people.
Yeah.
And and I don't know if you saw the thing we met Linda, caught up. We found Linda again,
That's
the guy who
Rebecca,
played
right? Or Jill?
Rebecca Chambers.
Yeah.
Rebecca. And last year in April, we all got together up in Iron Mountain and filmed another interview with Linda and the four of us, the whole four of us together.
Wow.
And that was great fun. Had a great weekend in Iron Mountain, us guys together. It was good fun. And yeah, we did that. And then Tony, the photographer, I dressed up in the full Barry Burton gear, and we
Oh,
did
that's
some,
awesome.
and they've made rooms to the mansion. They've made
Whoa.
actual rooms to the mansion, and I did some studio shots, great pictures. I did some really lovely pictures
Oh,
of
that's
me being
crazy.
Barry Burton. Only problem was I only had a Glock. I didn't get to
I
have
want my
the pop.
python.
I had a Glock, so I couldn't argue. Um, that's as good as I could get. So, but the photos look really good, and fans love them. Fans love the photos, and
Oh, okay.
uh, yeah, they love them.
Those are the autographed photos?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh wow. Is there
yeah,
is there a way for people like me or anybody else
yeah,
to
yeah.
get one of
It's
those?
easy. Just look for go to the first Barry Burton webpage.
On
First
Facebook?
Barry Burton
Yeah.
Facebook page. Sorry,
Yeah.
Facebook. I'm old. I don't have a web page. I just have a Facebook page. I've got to get someone one day to design a web page for me. I've got a Facebook page, the first Barry Burton.
Yeah. Or
Just
I would
go to that.
title it Barry Where's Barry, but that's just because that's what Chris says.
Yeah. Well, if you go to the first Barry Burton,
Yeah.
um, you can actually message me. Just give me a message,
Just like I did.
and
Yeah.
I'll message you back and talk to you,
Yeah, guys, he's
and
super responsive. He's super responsive.
I'll respond within 24 hours. And I really take it seriously. The fans, I do. I really like looking after my fans,
Oh, I really appreciate it.
and
Yeah.
making sure they're happy. And I'll do the photo with postage, and I usually give you a choice. And I've got some a Barry Burton patch made. A friend of mine made a Barry Burton patch which I signed, and I've got the stars patch
Oh,
which I signed. I signed everything in the back of the stars patch for you. I've got the Barry Burton patch I signed. I've even got Barry Burton car stickers. I give those away for free. And
wow.
yeah, and I've got those the ones with the the pulses on them, the pulse patches
Yeah.
with
The
the
health.
I've got a,
Yeah, your health. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I've got those as well, and I've got some really lovely photos. I've got some off the original game that they're a bit blurry, so we AI'd them and just crisped them up, and they just look like
Oh, that's awesome.
fantastic photos. So we didn't change them at all. We just put them through AI and took all the fuzz out of them, and they're as clear as. And they look really good. And I sign those and send them all over the world. But I kind of can't help myself. If someone buys a photo, I always throw a free gift in or something in there, another little photo.
Cool.
Um, or I even had some Barry Burton, the original name tags made. You know, the ID tag
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the
yeah. Yep.
I've had some of those made, and um, I when I did it, I really enjoyed. We had the costume; they wouldn't let me keep it, wouldn't let me keep anything, and
Mm.
they had a dog tag, the Barry Burton dog tag, because they had dog tags like
Yeah.
military dog tags,
Yeah.
and I really wanted that, and they wouldn't let me keep it, so I went and got my own one made.
That's awesome.
Because I thought, well, I've got to, it's not from the game, but it's at least not from the shooting, but at least it's a memento of the me for
Yeah.
me, my memento. And the fans love those. I signed the back of them, and they're metal, and I sign them and send them all over the world.
That's
And
incredible.
yeah, just contact me, and I just do it through PayPal, really
Okay.
simple,
Perfect.
and I send all over the world. Happy to send anywhere in the world. The only place I can't send from Australia is North Korea.
Oh,
They don't like me sending to North
sorry,
Korea.
guys.
That's about it. Sorry, North Korea, but I sent to Finland, Denmark, America, Canada, Mexico, uh, Argentina, Colombia, Puerto Rico, New Zealand, Australia, uh, Malaysia, Singapore, Japan, China, uh, Saudi Arabia,
Wow.
South, South Africa, Kenya,
You have fans
yeah,
all over.
England, England, Ireland, England and Ireland and yeah, Scotland, Wales, yeah, everywhere, France,
Yeah.
yeah. And sometimes if you're really, really lucky, I'll ring you up and give you a Barry phone call.
Oh shit. Well, you have my number already, so there you go.
Yeah, I just ring you up and I ring you up and give you a Barry phone call.
You're like, yeah, yeah, or just a moment. And I know
I
all the
ring up
lines
and go,
from that game. It's
yeah, I ring
crazy.
up and go, G'day, it's Barry Burton here. That was nearly a Jill sandwich. And I, what? What?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's funny because on Twitch, this guy named Patty Quinn mentioned Jill Sandwich when he came in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you do a Jill sandwich or change it to someone whoever's name it is. Like if it's a girl, like if it's a guy called Kyle, I'll put that was nearly a Kyle sandwich. Or on the back of on the back of the envelope, I draw blood all down the back of the envelope and hope this isn't Kyle's blood. I hope this isn't
Oh
Jackie's
my
blood. And
God, that's incredible.
you don't just get a photo of me signed. You get the full work. It takes me about half an hour to do it. I put the blood on it and whatever else. One day I actually accidentally cut myself with a with a paper clip or with a staple, and I had blood on the envelope, real blood. And
Jeez.
I put this is Barry's blood.
You put your blood, sweat, and tears literally into the product. That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
but no, and I always try and make sure that and I usually send a small photo. I do a big one with just my signature and Barry Burton on it, and then a smaller one I include with that was nearly a Jill sandwich. Or I hope that's not Chris's blood or something like that
That's
on it.
amazing.
So I try and do that. I really try and look after the fans, and if something goes wrong, I kind of Chris has just sent a message saying he got his photo.
Yeah.
A guy just sent me a message then while we're talking saying he received his photos
Oh
that
wow,
I'd sent
perfect
him.
timing.
Yeah, they send me. I get a message saying they sent him, and yeah, no, and they send a picture of the photo and they frame them. And I
Oh
got a
yeah.
really good one of my very very first guys who ever contacted me, a guy called Tommy Murphy, in England. And Tommy, he's just got everything I've got. I think he just kind of he's a good mate now. He's become a friend, and that's it. A lot of the fans, even though I've never met them, we talk to each other. And I'm retired, so I've got plenty of time. And I'm old, so it doesn't matter. And I talk, have a great
That's
time.
yeah, no, it's great. I remember I was in high school and I wrote one of the cast members of Mortal Kombat in 1997 when
Yeah,
computers were a thing, and we became real life friends after that. Like, 1997 to now,
yeah,
it's so awesome that the people that you can reach and the friendships that you can make
yeah.
doing this stuff.
Even luckily, a couple.
Hmm?
Chris is not, sorry, Chris is sending me, not Chris didn't get a pitch. That's right. Chris is sending me his game. He's sending me his game cover, the
Oh,
game, the book from the game,
yes,
and
yes.
I'm signing that for him.
Oh, that's
That's what
awesome.
Chris is doing. And then inside, there's actually the bits, some of the books, not all of them, but they're all a bit different. Some of the books have pictures of the characters inside
Mm-hmm.
and a bio about Barry Burton.
Mm-hmm.
I usually sign it above my picture as well in that for them.
That's awesome.
But
I
we've met some lovely people. Met this lovely girl because because I decided, well, maybe people want to meet me. So I contacted last year the people from Midwestern Gaming
mm-hmm.
in Milwaukee,
Yeah.
and Dan was fantastic. And Dan invited me out to Milwaukee last year to the Midwestern Gaming Expo, and I got to meet so many fans there. It was fantastic. We had they only, you only get you only get oh, he's just telling me he sent some money to PayPal. Yep, good. I'll just tell him to like it. I'll give him a like. Okay.
There you go.
Then I'll get back to you,
Yeah.
hopefully. Yep,
No, you're
there you
still
go.
good.
And then got to look after the fans. So I just sent him a like straight away. And we had a great time there. And we were lined up. We had fan. I couldn't believe it. We went in and it was a really lovely guy, Trent Overton, sent me a Barry Burton costume, the whole works. He sent me the T-shirt,
Oh
he
wow.
sent me the vest, he sent me a gun, he sent me the holster because I just couldn't get that holster, the shoulder holster in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me everything but the boots. Trent was a really lovely guy.
That's
Is a
cool.
lovely guy, Trent.
Yeah.
And Trent said to me, and I put it on, it fitted like a glove. And it was good. It was a padded one, so it was cold in Milwaukee. And Charlie and I dressed up, and Charlie had dressed up once or twice before for the movie when we did the movie,
Mm-hmm.
the small shoot in Utah, where I wore a flying suit because I was flying the helicopter. I was in a full flying suit, and aviators. Oh, it looked great. Where Charlie was, and this is the first time I've worn the Barry Burton outfit since 1995. And I put it on and I go, oh shit. Sorry, oh
You're
bother.
fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Um, but here's this old guy dressed as Barry Burton. So I'm going to walk in there and going to laugh at me. People are going to think, what's this old fart doing? And I've walked in and we're walking in and going, oh, Charlie, I'm a bit worried about this, mate. I'm a bit worried. And he goes, oh, it'll be all right, Greg. You'll be all right. We'll have a good time. I'm going, oh, yeah, maybe we'll come home at lunchtime and change back into our normal clothes. And so we walk in there. And it just goes ballistic. We don't even get to the elevator. Like there's escalators up to get because it's on the second floor. You walk in and you go up the second floor and the third floor. It's a big expo.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even get to the escalator. It took us an hour to get to the escalator. All these fans besieged us, and
Mm-hmm.
we and they kept going, it's the OGs, it's the OGs.
Yeah.
And went on. And we got and can we take a photo? Can we do this? And yeah, okay. And oh, and it just kept going on. Oh, here's $10 for your photo. I go, what? And they go, here, take $10 for your photo. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we went up and we walked around and oh, Batman even knew us. We got to sit in the Batmobile. Oh, we had a great time. And then that afternoon we got to sign. And I thought, oh, I'll be five or six people. We ran out of photos. I had to send out and get more photos printed that night because the crowd we signed for 2 hours and we didn't lift our head for 2 hours. We were supposed to sign for an hour and 2.5 hours later, we are still signing. And the guy following, because they had you in rosters, and the guy wants to come in after us. He's getting really, oh, come on, guys, I've got to do mine. He gets about four people. We just had them packed out. They went forever. And then um, that night we just kind of had a party night, and there was so many people. And and then the next day we did a. The next day someone else has just tagged me now,
Everybody.
Megan.
Yeah.
Must be watching this, Megan Oliver. Hello, Megan, if you're watching. And uh, we uh we kind of had an interview, and we thought, oh yeah, so Charlie and I turn up at the interview, and there's like 200 people. The auditorium's packed,
Yeah.
and we just chatted like we are now and joked, and Charlie and I joke with each other all the time, and we carry on. And they had a moderator asking questions. It got filmed, and we got videoed while we were doing it. And at the end of it, like we were supposed to have an hour, we went for an hour and a half because they kept asking questions and people kept wanting to know things. And then we had to do a photo with everyone because it was so good. We got a photo taken, and they gave us a standing ovation. I had tears in my eyes. I was so moved. The people were so kind,
Yeah.
and we had a standing ovation. Like it's quite interesting when you get 200 people stand up all clapping and cheering for you. That was great fun. And then we went and signed the next day on the Sunday. We signed more autographs. We ran out of photos. We just ran out of like it was just amazing.
Yeah.
And then we went and did an interview with these guys called Games, Guys and Beers.
Mm. Okay.
They go and do these interviews all around the America. They do a lot of Comic Cons and that. And they were terrific guys as well. We had so much fun with them. Yeah, so and then after that I went to one in Australia and that was okay. And then went back to America, got it got invited back by the people from the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and they were such good people, and we had the best time ever in Portland. We just because you were there, you didn't just sign for 2 hours, but we kind of walked around, we talked to people, I give people the Barry sandwich, put them in a headlock and they take a photo
Nice.
of me putting in a Barry sandwich. And in Portland, in Milwaukee, they had the wrestling as well at the expo,
Hmm.
and um, I kind of got to put the wrestlers in a headlock. So I got to put
Oh
these two wrestlers
wow.
in headlocks, and
That is
I got to give,
awesome.
I got to give out the belt. I got to give out the wrestling belt for the champion.
Oh wow.
A friend of mine called Johnny Cass. Without Johnny, I would have met. Johnny was a fan, and we started talking. And Johnny got me into the guy. He said, "Oh, you got to come to Milwaukee." So he got me the intro to Dan. And Johnny has done so much for me. Johnny has become a mate. I even shared a room with him in when we were in Portland, Oregon the other week, like in September in Portland, Oregon. I shared the room with John because John came down to Portland, Oregon, and helped me. He looked after me and made sure I had bottles of water to drink and all those things, and got me plenty of that. What is it, Mother or what's those energy drinks? Big
Oh, like a
Red Bull, I
monster
think.
Red Bull? Yeah.
Yeah, something full of Red Bull. So Barry was buzzing.
Buzzing berry. I have one right now actually. Like
I like to give full energy when I go. I don't just like sitting there and going, "Oh, hello, how are you?" I get right in there with the fans and talk. And yeah, we had lots of offers to do voicing and that in games now that like free independent guys, young guys are making. There's all these really lovely young guys we met into gaming, and they're pretty smart, and they're making these games, and we're voicing them for them
are
for free
you
because
playing Barry or are you is it like a different
playing
project?
other characters because they can't.
Nice.
Barry can only play Capcom. Capcom owns Barry, but they do have a character like Barry, a lot like Barry, but
Okay.
not Barry. And I get to voice those. And this guy down in Argentina, he's doing this really good video game. So he took pictures of my face from the side and underneath, and he's going to incorporate Barry's face into a video game.
Oh, that's
So yeah,
cool.
I get to do all these interesting things.
Yeah, and you're still
Yeah.
working on projects and video
Well,
game projects at that.
one day they'll be rich enough to pay me.
I told you we talked about that earlier. When if I make it big and I get money, I will
Yeah,
PayPal you. Yeah,
remember Uncle Barry.
I will
I do it
remember
all
Uncle Barry. Yes.
look, I do it all for free because you're helping young guys start out. You're
Yeah.
helping these guys do things, and it takes you a little bit of time to help. And people help me all the time. I met this lovely girl, Amy, who's a costume designer, and she makes costumes in Milwaukee. I'm in Portland. I met Amy. Amy's making me a new, improved Barry Best, just like the original
Oh,
from 1995.
yeah.
And and then John's organised. He's got a 3D Colt Python. He sent me pictures of it yesterday. So the Python's coming.
Oh, the outfit's complete.
The outfit is complete.
Oh man, I gotta ask.
Yeah,
You know the family. There's a
not
photo
my
that
family.
no
Not
no
my family.
there's a photo that Barry gives you. I gotta tell you a story about this too. But there's a family portrait that Barry gives you if he dies. Did you
Yeah,
actually? Is that your family photo?
no.
No. Okay. Okay. Because
It's
I
it was they photoshopped. It was pretty good to do it back in '95. They
yeah.
photoshopped me into another family.
Okay.
I did that. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. They could have had my family. I could have given them a photo of my family, but no, they just photoshopped me, and I didn't even know I was in a family photo till I saw the game or all the pictures of me. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny with that because like you said, it was the first game where there were like real people that we saw. We used to play, Nintendo and Sega and stuff.
Yeah.
And we were playing a game where they're talking to us and emoting at us and all this other stuff. And we took a liking to your character the most. And my stepdad's gonna
Yeah.
kill me, but I'll tell you this story. Um, so I'd played the game before he got home from work, so I knew where to take your character in the cave to where he wouldn't die. And my stepdad
Yeah.
goes, "Hey, where do I?" He's like really nervous. He's like, "Where do I send Barry?" And I'm like, "Oh, just tell him to hang back, and you go forward." And I go downstairs with my mom, and I just hear my stepdad go, "No!" And I come upstairs, and he's crying, and he gives him the photo that we were talking about, and he restarts from the last save point because he's just crying that your character died. And I think
Yeah.
that's another reason why people gravitate towards you guys so much is because we felt a real connection to you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, someone explained it once that it actually gave them a real person as the character.
Yeah.
Like when they're playing it, they don't just see the little characters, they see the real people of Chris, myself, Wesker kind of thing. They see the real characters. Yeah. Yeah, and Linda, etc. Yeah, so they do. They kind of can relate really well to it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just enjoy relating to the fans these days. They're really good people and good fun. And it's interesting. The fans range from 10-year-old children through to 40,
44.
45, 50-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right here.
the fans range is such a wide. When we did the interview in Milwaukee, one of the fans, she was only 10 and she had so many good questions. She was really into the game. And a lot of fans now have got into the game because they played Resident Evil 5 and 6 and whatever, and then went back and played 1.
Classics.
And they like 1 the best, a lot of them, because
Mm-hmm.
it's a bit, because it's a bit retro and all that.
Yep.
But we're getting a lot of fans, and you say, look, because it's these young, like we're signing autographs of these, all this young group came up, and they're only about 17, 18. There was a couple of girls and guys and that, and we're signing. I said, how do you guys know about the game? They said, oh, we got into Resident Evil 6 or 5 and 7 and whatever. And then we thought, oh, we'll go back and play 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then they got hooked on 1.
Yeah.
And yeah, really interesting.
I've always said this. I think the PS1 version of Resident Evil 1 is better than the remake because I feel like there's more heart and soul into the PS1 version than the other one. It just lacks the charm, and they're like, oh, it's campy. I love campy. It makes me feel comfortable. And yeah, no, your guys' version is the best. Like when I have kids, they're gonna play the
Yeah.
classic, not
Well,
the remake.
we really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
We had such a good time. We had such a good time doing it because we were just like, I was the oldest by far because Barry had to be old. Barry had to be
Yes.
like nearly 40, and I was. And Charlie was like the young gun. And Rebecca Chambers, she was so young. She was only about 14 in real life. She was just a baby. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and Eric, he was about 25, I think. And Charlie was about the same age. Jill was Jill was probably 18 or something. Jill, the girl who played Jill, um, who I remember her well, but she doesn't want to be like, so they say. They say they've found her and she's not interested. I was communicating with some person who said they were Jill, but I don't know if they were. Because when I asked questions about the filming, they couldn't remember. And I remember everything because the more I start talking to Charlie, we kind of remember things that he forgot, and I remember things here. And,
Yeah.
and the story, and we've built it back up again. We've built that whole week or that whole 2 days of filming. It's kind of come right back. But I didn't see a lot of it. I didn't see a lot of the stuff Charlie filmed because they just did it in isolation and
Mm.
then put it together. And Charlie didn't see the stuff I did. And the only thing we all really did together was the outdoor scenes.
Yes, I was
The
gonna ask
outdoor
about that.
film.
Where did they? You guys were outdoors and you guys ran, like you guys were sprinting. Like, where was
Yeah,
that
yeah.
at, and how long did that take?
That was, well, they kind of got us in Tokyo. Everything happens, you do things on trains in Tokyo because the traffic's pretty bad. And they just contacted me and said, can you catch a train tomorrow after, like on Thursday afternoon? Can you catch a train to this station? I'd have to look up my diary. My diary's somewhere in the house. And I catch a train to this station. And they met us at the station in nice cars and all that, and then took us out to this riverbank, a river that was a dry river.
Mm-hmm.
It was dry, and it was July, so it was the dry season in Japan, and the riverbed was dry and it had lots of long grass and all those things in it. And they filmed all night. They started at like we got there and they put the costumes on, makeup, all those kind of things. And then they got us to do the film. Yeah, we had to run. We had to run away from things. We didn't know what we're running away from, and or running toward things. We had the gun and we shot. Charlie had a machine gun, I think, or a multi-shooter. Where I just had a pistol. And I was a bit annoyed. I wanted. Oh, I only got a bloody pistol, and but now I know Barry had to have a pistol because that's what Barry had. I understand it now, and I can live with that. That Barry only had a pistol, not a machine gun. But on the filming, it was supposed to have 6 shots of my gun. It was like a special gun that kind of had these lights in it. When you shot it, it looks like it was shooting, but it wasn't. It was like not even a blank. It was electronic that shot it looked like a bullet shooting out of it. And it only worked 3 times, and that was it. I only had 3 shots all night. The other three, it was a 6 shooter. The other 3 didn't work. So I was a little bit, that was it for me. 3 shots and I was gone. But we were being there were you know how there's those mechanical dogs in it, those robot dogs.
Yes, yes.
They were real. They actually had real dogs at the movie at the river, and that's what we're running away from. The real
Oh,
dogs.
wow. I didn't know
They
that.
had they had Dobermans. They were lovely dogs, really friendly dogs. Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful dogs. But they had 2 or 3 big Dobermans. Then they put this thing in their mouth that lifted their gums up. And it made them look like they were snarling,
Yeah.
and their teeth. And then the dogs are there. We'd pat the dogs, good doggy, and we'd start running. And then that's why we're looking over our shoulder. The dog was chasing us,
Wow, I didn't
right?
know that. A real dog was
Yeah,
chasing you guys. That's
yeah.
awesome.
But the real dogs never made the scene. The real dogs didn't make the scene.
Oh, wow. I always heard stories
And
about the animatronic dog. I think I heard somebody say that was their favorite segment of filming was the
yeah,
dogs.
I never saw the animatronic dog because we had real dogs. They put those in later.
Wow. Was there a favorite
And
scene that you did in filming?
oh, I really love the intro. I love the intro, like where I'm playing with a gun and all that.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
good. That's good fun. That was so much fun. Uh, uh, I kind of like the one where we're all standing there looking up, kind of don't
Don't
go, and
go.
yeah, there was good fun things we did though, because when we got there, my t-shirt is pure white, like it's like brand new,
Hmm?
and Charlie's, and we're all looking good. And Charlie said to the director, or someone, the director or the assistant director, shouldn't we be dirty? Shouldn't we look like we're scruffy because we're all perfect, like our hair's done by the hairdresser and we're all looking immaculate? And he said, we've been fighting zombies. We've lost some of our group. And we've been supposedly fighting these zombies for the last whatever days. Shouldn't we be dirty? And they went, oh, good idea, good idea. So Charlie says, let's roll in the dirt. So we all roll in the dirt and we
Oh,
kind of
wow.
And
That's
then we get
cool.
dirt put on our faces, and I'm putting dirt on Charlie's hair and all that, so we look like we've been in the wars. And we
That's where
that
you
was
guys
good.
are leaving,
That was
right? That's when you're
yeah.
leaving
Huh?
at the end.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yes.
that whole scene at the by the at the river, we did it at the very beginning. As soon as we got dressed, we started filming, and Charlie said, "Well, this is stupid. We should be dirty." So we all got to roll in the. I remember rolling over in the dirt and getting a bit of muddy dirt and rubbing it on Charlie and
Oh
on
man.
Linda, and it was great fun. We looked like we'd been and mussed up his hair and all those kind of things.
Did
Yeah, Charlie
you?
looked like
Oh, sorry.
he
Go ahead.
looked like a young Charlie Sheen. He looked like Charlie Sheen in those days.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Chris.
I thought I was acting with Charlie Sheen actually. Anyway,
Did you? So did you guys have any other creative input in the characters or the designs or anything
no,
or scenes?
no,
No.
no, nothing at all. Oh no, not really. Oh, maybe when we said, "Oh, we should look that way," so we all looked that way, and yeah, no, not really, because we were just we were we were just very low down. We were just the actors, and he really wanted to have real actors. He said later on, but Shinju Mikami. But anyway, it was a bit he Charlie could speak excellent Japanese. My Japanese was very average, and I couldn't really, and the rest couldn't. So no one really understood Shinju Mikami too much. You had to have an interpreter to tell us what to do. Yeah, it
Huh.
was good fun.
Yeah. Um.
It
What was the
was
most
great fun,
difficult
actually.
scene? What was the most difficult scene for you guys?
Uh, I don't know. I just loved doing every bit of it. There was nothing difficult.
Nothing
Like I
difficult.
probably when I had to look when we had to look confused, that was easy because we were
Yeah.
like look sad. We didn't know what we're doing, so it was just fun. There was nothing I didn't like, and I must admit it didn't finish till we shot all night. All night we were there, and they had the big RV vans, and you'd go in there and you'd have coffee and tea and Red Bull and whatever else and sushi and all that. And they kind of fed us. But I remember the difficult bit was staying really buzzed up
Mm.
um, because what happened was it started. I didn't sleep. I didn't plan on sleeping the day before, so I did something all day with my family, and then caught the train. And it shot. I filmed all night, so we didn't really get any downtime till about 7 in the morning. And the hardest bit was staying really alert and looking
Mm.
like because we were tired in the end because it was like nearly 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 7 the next morning.
Dang,
It was
that's
like a
yeah.
15 hours of
Because you did it in two
on the
days.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the day before we did the inside. The inside ones were really easy because it was only like a 20-minute take of me in the helicopter. With me with the intro, they might have done that in about an hour. And then they did Rebecca's intro and Charlie's intro and all that, and Wesker's intro. I don't know if they even did them on the same day. I think they might have done them a different day because they did that. And then they did the scenes with, I think, Rebecca and myself in the helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There was a scene in the helicopter with Rebecca, and I think I'm looking at my family as well there. And
Yes.
yeah, and I don't know if I had a photo. I think I just had a bit of might have had a photo. I can't remember now, but I had something. And yeah, we did that, and then I did some with Jill, but they never used. I don't know if they used the ones with Jill. I don't remember seeing those, but I did some with Jill as well. Jill Valentine. I did a couple of scenes with her. But most of the time, we were just sitting in a room, drinking tea, and having sushi and Japanese food while we waited. There was a lot of downtime, a lot of time we just sat there and talked. And I got to know Rebecca really well, and I got to know Jill really well. I didn't get to know Charlie really well till later on
Yeah.
when we did the I met Charlie. I know I did get to know Charlie and Eric when we were doing the costume fits and all that. And you know those out scenes where you see there's an out scene of me doing a kick and things like that, a very bad karate kick.
Uh-huh.
There's some outtake scenes that are on the internet. Well, I met Charlie there. Yeah. So, um, but the Japanese costume people all went about their stuff, just bang, bang, bang. Everyone did everything. It went reasonably well. Like just sitting, all the filming was done in 2 days is a pretty good effort.
That's pretty crazy. It's funny is
Yeah,
they cut Charlie's intro because he's smoking. So like in the American version, they paste over with the scene of him, I think, running away from the dogs.
yeah, yeah. That's right. They did. They took out the smoking because they wanted him to smoke
Yes.
in it originally. That was he smoked because they said to me, "Did I smoke?" And I said, "No, I don't." So Barry didn't smoke, but Charlie said, "Yeah, I smoke. Good. We want you to smoke." And Charlie doesn't smoke anymore. He gave it up. That's
Yeah.
in real life. He gave it up.
And then,
Um,
when you're in the helicopter and you're with Rebecca or you're with Jill and
yeah.
you're looking at the photo and you're talking, did you actually say the lines? Because I know they dubbed over your voice, and I
No,
think Chris's voice too.
I said the lines, but because I had an Aussie accent, they didn't like them.
Mm.
So they dubbed me over. I think they dubbed over everyone. I think they even dubbed over Charlie.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Yeah, they dubbed over everyone with a guy from the Netherlands.
Yeah, he was
Yeah,
the guy who did Chris's voice. I want to say he did a voiceover in Castlevania also.
yeah, they did a lot. Eric did voicing in Japan. He did voicing for, oh, not Street Fighter. It might have been Mortal Kombat, I think.
Hmm.
Eric did stuff in Mortal Kombat as well, where I only ever, in Japan, I only ever did that in a few TV shows. Did a couple of TV shows in Japan.
You did a couple
And I
TV
was a,
shows in Japan.
yeah, yeah, just
Wow.
on just out scenes, just because in Japan, in a TV show, like it was like a soapy,
Okay.
like Days of Our Lives and things like that. They want to have they used to like having a gaijin, which is a foreigner
Yes.
in the scene. So at a party, I was a foreigner at the party, like drinking a beer. Well, hey, uh, yeah.
Konnichiwa.
No, name Moscow. Drink a beer. Let's drink a beer on name Moscow. Yeah, kind of things like that. We drink, and I did that, and I was a pro wrestler.
No, you were a pro
In,
wrestler.
yeah, in a just for a scene in a movie, a scene in a TV show.
Wow, that is
There was a
awesome.
wrestler, there was a wrestler called Sten Hansen
Yes, he's
or
big in
Sten
Japan. Yep.
Hansen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I looked a bit from the back. I only took the back of me. I looked like Sten Hansen from, and I had to do he used to do a sign like a bull
Yes, a
in
bull
the air
thing.
with his
Yeah.
fingers. I had to do that, and I had a pair of cowboy boots, big
That is
high cowboy
amazing.
boots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good fun, and it was really good. I got $500 just for dressing like Sten Hansen. It was the best fun in the world.
So wait, was this before or after the Resident Evil thing?
After, I think.
After, do you think that caused you to be more popular in the casting realm?
Oh, I think they just remembered me. Like to do a guy like Sten Hansen, they needed someone 6 foot tall and 100 kilograms, like 200, 220 pounds or something. So they needed someone um, big. And there's not many big guys like me in Japan. So I got the gig for big guys. I got the big guy gig.
Did you have to clothesline anybody?
Beg your pardon? No, I didn't. All I
Oh,
had to do
because
was
that's a
pretend and give
stand-in.
out
Oh, okay.
only from the back. But no, the best I ever did was wrestling, was putting the professional wrestlers in headlocks in Milwaukee. And that was so much fun.
That's
But I'm not
cool.
going back to Milwaukee this year, which is fair enough because you don't want to go every year because you want to go in a couple of years' time when the fans want to. If I go every year, the fans go, it's the same guy every year. So I'm not going to
Make it
Milwaukee this
special.
year.
Yeah.
So, but looks like we might be going somewhere in Asia this year. I
Oh,
can't tell everyone because I put on Facebook, if you could guess where I'm going, I'll send you a free photo. And no one's guessed yet. No one's guessed. If you can guess the city, they're all going, oh, Asia. Yeah, I'm going to Asia, but you got to guess the city. So, uh, yeah, so we're doing. It looks like well, we a bit of luck. We'll be going to Asia this year,
that's cool.
a big Asia pop common. Hopefully, I get back to Milwaukee this year because not Milwaukee, back to Portland because that was a really big one. And we could still get lots of fans in Portland, and Portland's lovely. So hopefully, get back to Portland.
Do you have a
Um,
favorite place that you've traveled to? Because you've been all over the world.
yeah, I don't know. I'm going back to Istanbul this year for a holiday. I'm going to Istanbul for a holiday, so we'll see what that's. And we're going to Vietnam this year again for a holiday, just to trek. While I'm still able to trek through the hills of Vietnam. We're going to Vietnam in June and trekking, and we're going to Istanbul and into Greece. And I've already a couple of fans in Greece are already making plans to meet me and we'll go out for dinner in Greece,
That's
in
amazing.
Athens. That'll be good fun.
Wow. Where's your favorite place to go to in Japan? I've always wanted to go there, and I've always wanted to ask people that
I,
travel there.
I just
Where's the spot?
Japan. There's also Japan is so beautiful. There's so many places. Like um, always loved Mount Fuji, the look of Mount Fuji. So I climbed Mount Fuji in 1995 as well.
Oh wow.
I climbed to the top of Mount Fuji one day. Always loved Mount Fuji. Love looking at Mount Fuji. So I like going there. Um, Tokyo is just beautiful. Tokyo in the winter time when the snow's falling is lovely. In the springtime when all the flower cherry blossoms are out, it's gorgeous. Really love Tokyo. Um, Love Tokyo. Then up a Coney, go up to the hot springs. Oh, the hot springs are so beautiful. I don't know. I can't pinpoint one spot I like more than others. I know. I always loved. Um, there's a spot just out of Tokyo, and you go down by this little train from Yokohama down, and it's where the big brass Buddha is. There's a huge brass Buddha, like 2 stories high, and you can go up inside him. Kamakura. It is one of my favorite. It's by the sea, and they got the ocean, and it's beautiful. Kamakura. I love going to Kamakura.
Wow. I'll have to keep a note of that. Kamakura.
Yeah, it's not too hard to get to from Tokyo. You
Okay.
can do it easy. Go down there. It takes a day because you go down by train, you get to Kamakura, you walk through the bamboo forests over the hill, down through the temples, down to the ocean, go to the Buddha, walk around, have down the main street, which has got cherry blossoms, and have a meal and some sake, and then catch the train home. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Sounds awesome. What about Australia? Because I've always wanted to go there too. What would be a good spot for a traveler to go to in Australia?
There's so many spots in Australia. Australia's really interesting because it's got a culture of 660,000 years old with our indigenous people. And then it has a whole different culture, which started only 250 years ago when the British landed here and colonized Australia. Up to then, Australia was just a wilderness with an indigenous population um, that were happy. They they didn't have the tools or the resources to invent iron, so they were still back in the Stone Age.
Mm.
They'd never because they didn't have the resources, the inclination, or whatever the need to make anything. So they still only had wood and stone things. They couldn't boil water because they didn't have metal containers. So it was a very much a Stone Age population, and they had a life here where they just hunted. They lived an existence where they kind of took grain and that they found wild grains and made things and made food from wild grains and ate wild berries. They didn't farm as such. They didn't cultivate,
Mm.
and they didn't herd because there are no animals to herd. You can't herd a kangaroo. Kangaroos can't be herded. They're impossible to herd. Even with our technology now with fences and that, you can't herd kangaroos. They're just wild
They're
animals.
too
But
strong,
they
right?
had, and they're dumb and they bounce into fences and their shape, they'll get their head into the fence and just keep kicking till they get all the way through, or they kill themselves in the fence, they hang themselves. But because they're shaped like a bullet, they get their head in there and their legs are powerful
Yeah.
and they kick their way through. So there was no animals to herd. So they lived a life of hunting, killing animals, eating them. It was a good life. They had a lovely time. They had a good time. And then white men came and built cities and houses and kind of brought disease and those things. Yeah, he brought a few bad things with him, but he also brought a lot of good things, and the whole world changed. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of natural beauty in Australia. Like you've got the most beautiful harbour in the world. Sydney Harbour is just gorgeous, and the Opera House on the water with the harbour bridge, it just is stunning. You fly into Sydney, and it just looks so beautiful. It's like flying over the Golden Gate
San
when you
Francisco.
fly
Yeah.
into San Francisco. It just
Yeah.
looks beautiful. And then you've got all around Sydney beautiful beaches and restaurants and all those things. But then you go way up north and where I live, and you've got the Great Barrier Reef for snorkeling and the Barrier
Okay.
Reef. It's beautiful. And the water. It's not today. I'd show you a picture today, but it's rubbish today because
That's okay.
it's a wet season. It's raining, but usually it's blue as blue as blue as blue, and it's just beautiful. And and a lot of people. I live in a town which has like tourists come in we probably have 1 million tourists a year come in.
Yeah.
Um, and we have cruise ships. We have 100 cruise ships a year pull in, and there's one in today. Poor people are going to have a wet day, but we have 100 cruise ships a year, and it's beautiful. And it's such a relaxed lifestyle. The downtown is relaxed. People are relaxed. Um, yeah, it's just kind of really, really kick back lifestyle. People just walk around their swimmers in the street. It's really weird. And it's really strange. Like, yeah, people just walk around town, their swimmers, like barely wearing any clothes at all, because it's just swimmers. Like, it's really weird. And and girls in G-string bikinis walking through the street. You go, "Wow, it's
Poor
weird.
guy.
Like,
You have to
it's
see
just
that. That's
weird."
good.
Like, yeah, and at the beach, they can't swim in the water this time of year because there are stingers. There's these stinger things that will really hurt you. Australia has lots of things that'll kill you. That's the only thing about Australia. We have snakes that will really kill you. They kill you bad. And we've got these crocodiles. They don't muck around either. And then we've got these spiders, and they're pretty bad. And then we've got these stingers in the water, and they kind of can really kill you. And a lot of things that can kill you. And then the sharks and the crocodiles, yeah. And yeah, kind of those things. And yeah, that's kind of, yeah, it's not too, that's the only thing about Australia. There's a lot of things that'll kill you, but they're not usually not where people are too much.
I was gonna say, you guys have spiders that literally catch birds in their webs, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they, they
that's
don't hurt,
insane.
they don't hurt you. They don't hurt people. They don't worry about people. It's the little ones that get you in Australia.
Ah,
The little spiders. And it's usually the woman spider. And the females are worse than the male. Story of life there, I think.
yeah.
And just alienated all the females watching. Sorry, girls, but no, the female. The female spiders are more poisonous than the male spiders, and they're more aggressive because they're probably guarding their eggs or something. But yeah, we have a few snakes around our backyard. Nothing poisonous. Little tree snakes and lots of lizards. And but and then you've got the beaches, and then if you go inland, there's this beauty in the dryness, and you've got Ayers Rock, or it's called Uluru. It's the English name is Rock. The indigenous name is Uluru, and you've got this huge rock which takes you 10 kilometres, 6 miles to walk around. It's
Oh
that
wow.
big, and it's just red, and it's unbelievable. It's in the desert, and you need to go there and see it. And there's some natural beauty like that. And there's waterfalls. It's just so much. People come to Australia and think, Japanese in particular come to Australia and they go, I'm in Cairns, I'll drive to Sydney. No, you won't drive to Sydney from Cairns. It's 5 days of driving non-stop to get to Cairns.
So, is
It's,
it
it's,
true that
it's
there's
really big.
a city in Australia that's so hot in the summer that it's underground? I had heard something about that.
Oh, that's kind of it is and isn't. It is hot. It's a opal mining town. It's called Cooper Pedy,
Hmm.
and there's another one called Lightning Ridge, and they're actually underground because they do mine the opals underground.
Hmm.
And what they do also is when they've done the opal mine out, they turn them into hotels. Someone got the idea they'd make them into hotels, underground hotels.
That's
And
awesome.
underground hotels. Yeah, it is hot. It's really hot. There's some of those places in the middle of summer you can fry an egg without a. You put the fry, sort put the get the put the rock, find some rocks that are really hot. Put your saucepan on the rocks and put the egg in. It'll cook the egg.
That's I man, I don't do too well with the heat. It sounds amazing. That
Yeah,
sounds brutal, but amazing too that you have hotels underground. That's so cool.
yeah, there they do. It's that hot when you walk outside and breathe in it. Where I used to live at one stage in my life. Yeah, where I used to live, it was that hot. The houses are all air conditioned,
Of course, yeah.
and your car's air conditioned. The shops are air conditioned. But when you walked out of an air conditioned house or shop and you breathed in the air, it was so hot, your lungs got hot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's more like gasping. You're just like,
yeah, it's really hot. And my wife would hang out the washing. By the time she'd finished hanging it out, she'd bring it in because it would be dry. She'd start hanging out the washing. By the time she hung out the
oh, is that
basket,
right?
yeah,
Whoa, that's
and it was
hardcore.
and
That's
it
hardcore.
dried that quick. The sheets were hard. Like it dried that quick. They were hard. Like they because they didn't blow on the wind. and they'd kind of come off stiff because they just dried so quickly.
They baked. They're not even drying. You baked them. Wow.
Yeah.
Where's your favorite places to eat? Do you have any? What's your favorite food?
Excuse me, sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Oh, you want me to repeat it?
No, no, I just yawned.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
I do that to people. That's good.
so what's the question?
Oh, I was saying,
What's
do you have a favorite food? Where's your favorite place to eat?
uh don't know what Barry's favourite food is. These days he kind of likes a bit of seafood up here. We have lovely seafood on the coast. Um, we have so many nice restaurants here. One thing I don't eat is McDonald's or Hungry Jack's. We call it Hungry Jack's. You
Burger
call it
King.
Burger King.
Yeah.
We don't. I don't eat that anymore. Um, I like cooking. We cook a lot of our own food. We make a lot of fresh, healthy food here.
Mm-hmm.
And Barry has to keep his figure. He can't be too fat. Like Barry has to keep the muscles up. So
Got to run away
I
from
eat a
the
lot of
Dobermans.
eat a lot of fruit. Like last night, we had beautiful fresh mangoes, and we carved up the mangoes. And then I put coriander, some onion, some tomatoes, and made up a dressing with vinegar and a little bit of honey and a little bit of what else did I put in it? White wine vinegar, something else. I mixed it all up, bit of garlic, and just put it over it and had that for dinner. It was
Okay.
beautiful.
Nice light
Yeah, so I
meal.
like a lot of food. We have a lot of fresh food in Australia, really fresh food. It's starting to get a bit like American supermarkets where you buy your salad already made and things like that, but we still make a lot of our own in Australia. And yeah, but I really enjoy fresh food and making my own. And yeah, favorite thing in America though is ribs. I must admit, I'm addicted to American ribs. Oh
Okay.
God, um, love ribs in America. Uh, I used to do Harley tours. I used to run Harley tours of America,
Mm-hmm.
and my friend and I would fly. We organised tours. We'd take 20 people, and we'd fly into Sturgis, which is in South Dakota,
Yeah.
and we'd ride down from Sturgis, which is a big motorbike rally, down to Las Vegas.
Dang.
The
Okay.
two, for about 2 weeks, and there was a little place called Silverton, Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
and we'd go to Silverton, Colorado, and the Handlebar Saloon um, in Colorado, in Silverton, has some of the best ribs I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
There's a plug for Silverton, Colorado. It's
There you
beautiful.
go. Your check's in the mail, sir.
Yeah, and yeah, that's lovely. And we used to go to a little coffee shop which had the best coffee at Cedars Ridge or Cedars Edge in Cedars Edge, I think in might have been Colorado. We come over the Rockies, down from the Rockies, and and Stacy made the best coffee there. So we went there as well, and yeah, it was good fun. I used to do that, and and ride through to Silverton, beautiful little town, and then through into Williams, Arizona, and that was good. Yeah.
You've been
Oh,
all over.
Susie's there. Hello, Susie. Susie's um, a girl, one of the friends. She actually flew over from Germany to meet us in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, wow.
Susie did that. Susie flew over. Terrific girl, really friendly and lovely, and yeah, and we had a great time. We spent, but she's her and her friends from I think it was where are their friends from LA? Anyway, or New York it might have been. The husband and wife, the three of us, four of us, spent a lot of time together, having a few beers and eating and just chatting. Great people. Really met some of the nicest people. We had a Barry Burton. We had a Resident Evil. It started off as a Barry Burton dinner, and then Charlie wanted to come, and Wesker's always he just hangs around Wesker. You can't get rid of
You
Wesker.
can't. You can't.
He's gonna no, you can't get rid of Wesker. And Wesker came along. We did the Barry Burton. We did the Resident Evil dinner, and
That's awesome.
we had all these fans turn up to dinner, and so we had to pay for the hire of the horse. We charged a small amount for the fans to come, and that paid for the hire of the room and all that. And but everyone got a signed autograph photo from one of us or a gift
Yeah.
at the end. So we didn't. So we felt we went around. We gave them a special. We made a special ticket up for the event.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny Cass, the wrestler, John Pike, made these special tickets up for the event for the dinner. And only 25 people came, so 25 people got the only 25 tickets without signatures on them.
Dang.
Rare at Sands Teeth.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
we did that, and we also did an escape room.
Oh, those are fun.
In, oh yeah, oh I'll be better at it next time. I was pretty hopeless. Barry was hopeless.
Was the
Anyway,
math problems? That's what gets me.
we had like a Resident Evil type escape room. It was Resident Evil as we could make it, and we were all dressed now Resident Evil. I think I was dressed in Resident Evil gear as well. Escape room, and we did that with the fans as well. We had a special ticket made for that, and there was only 6 or 7 of those made, and that was it. And but they were great fun. The escape room, we had a great time in that. We learned to listen to the instructions better, but it was good. We locked Wesker in a cage. It was great fun.
The tables have turned.
Yeah.
What's funny is, did they do this in the Resident Evil escape room, the Plant 42 formula? Because if that were the case, I'd never escape. Because I had
No,
the worst
I
time with
can't
that.
remember. One of them was we had to. The body had to give us a key. We had to get the body down, and the body fell from the roof when we did something. And the girl who was on the microphone would go, "We need help," and she'd give us a clue and call us useless and things like that, and demean us for asking for clues. And we then had to get out of that room into another room. So we got out. Wesker, we had to lock Wesker. We had to undo the key, lock Wesker in this chamber,
Yeah.
and then he worked out that we had to turn the switch a certain way because it lit up inside instructions. And then that led us into the next room. And
Oh,
the next room,
yeah.
oh gosh, it was hard. But no, we didn't get there. We got to I think we probably got nearly halfway through and our time was up. But it was good fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a blast. It sounds like a blast.
It was good fun. And the people with us had a great time. Susie was there and it was just good fun.
Yeah.
Everyone had a good time. I think they did anyway. And yeah.
What would you say
But
your favorite movies are?
ah, well, at the moment, I love Terminator. Terminator 2. Brilliant. I just think Terminator 2 is one of the best movies ever
Oh,
made.
Terminator 2? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure.
Terminator 2 is just brilliant. It is just such a good movie, Terminator 2. Um, and I've watched the other ones on, but I just like Terminator 2. I thought it was a really good sequel.
Yeah.
And I really enjoy that. Lately, I got right into Yellowstone,
Oh, the Cowboy
which not
show.
a
Yes.
cowboy one. I really enjoyed Yellowstone. And they got another cowboy one, Billy the Kid, and
Mm,
that's
never
on.
heard that one.
It's really good as well. It tells the story of Billy the Kid. I don't know if it's a real story, but it's a pretty good story. And I've been getting into those a bit. But movies, I did enjoy. I know it's a soapy one. I enjoyed the bucket list, maybe because I'm old, but I enjoyed the bucket list. That made me cry.
Oh, dang.
Anything with a dog in it makes me. If a dog dies, I always cry too. Barry's a sook. He likes dogs, and if a dog dies in a movie, I cry. Lassie makes me cry. But no, I like a bit of action. Love the Die Hard movies,
Oh, those are good.
the original Die Hards. By the time they got to Die Hard 4 and that, it was a bit over the top. But Die Hard 1 in the what is it, Yakatomi
Nakatomi
building,
Plaza, yeah.
the Yakatomi Plaza and and Hans Gruber. You got Hans Gruber, is it?
Yes,
And the
yeah.
bad guy. I loved it, loved it, loved it, loved it. So I really enjoy those kind of action, not too senseless violence, but a bit of violence. And yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind gory. I don't like it when they have really graphic violence. That's a bit over the top for me. But
Yeah, same, yeah.
I don't mind bad guys getting shot, like and hands falling out of the room. And that was really fun. When we're in Portland, there's Jared. Jared was the guy who got us there. He was one of the organisers of the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. Really nice guy. And his other mate who works with him in organising it, and I think he's doing more of it this year because Jared's having a bit of a rest with his family, is Hans Gruber. Hans Gruber. And I go, Hans Gruber, and it wasn't him, but everyone says that. And he's a really, Hans, I bet some of the best people. Hans is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in Portland, Oregon. I just met some of the best people. And even when we're staying they put us up at the hotel. The guys at the hotel, they all wore their Resident Evil t-shirts. The guys working in the hotel on the
No
desk
way, really?
wore their Resident Evil t-shirts and everything to make us feel welcome
Oh, that's
when they
so cool.
realised who we
I'd do
were.
that for you guys.
Because we checked in And the next day, I go down and he's in his Resident Evil t-shirt. So I gave him a free autograph and he was wrapped and he was a terrific guy. Really nice guys. Just met so many good people.
Let me ask,
Um,
do you consider Die Hard a Christmas movie?
what's that?
Do you consider Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Oh, yeah,
Look at
it's a bit of a
this.
Christmas movie. It, it kind of, yeah. So they put it on every Christmas here, Die Hard. They put that on Love Actually. They put that on Love Actually every year in Australia. Love Actually comes on at Christmas time as well.
So it's
I don't
funny.
know if it's,
My
don't
friend
you ever seen
just
Love Actually?
did a Barry Burton greeting here. Lex, thank you so much. I'm interviewing Barry Burton. He's right here. She just did a Barry Burton thing for you.
Yeah, okay.
Sorry about that.
I've got lots of things happening here in the background on my telephone, lots of messages popping up and things like that.
Oh yeah, we both do. Oh
Yeah,
man. But so I promised you an hour. We've gone a little over the hour, and I know. Are you working out today, or are you doing that tomorrow? I because I know.
I work out every day, but today I work out every day of the week except Saturday.
Ah,
Um, but today we've got friends from Bali,
that's
Indonesia, staying with us, and it's their last day. So we'll do something this morning for them, but it's so wet and horrible. I don't know what we're going to do.
okay.
Um, so yeah, we're doing that this morning. They'll be up in a minute or two. You'll probably see people walking around the
Oh,
background. It's my
you're fine.
friends from
I'll
Bali.
I'll probably because I know you got things to do. I'll probably end it here. But what's the best way for fans to keep up with you again? Just so everyone knows.
My first Barry Burton Facebook page.
First Barry Burton Facebook page. So yeah, look that up. You can talk to him. He responds within, he said, 24 hours. A lot of
Sometimes 40, depending, but usually 24.
Yeah, he's super cool. Responded to me right away. Did this. You can get autographed pictures there. Just a
Yeah.
lot of stuff.
And
A lot of stuff.
other merch and yeah, I'm always thinking of new stuff. And yeah, it's I just my friend Johnny Cass or the wrestler Johnny Cass, John Pike, he's always come up with ideas. He's an ideas man and he's
Uh,
always bringing up ideas. When we did Portland, he made up a special run of these metal posters and they were beautifully done. And it had my picture, had Eric's picture, it had Charlie's picture with all the beautiful wording from the original one,
huh.
and they were like big. And we only had, I think we had 15 of them, or maybe it might be 20, because that's all the material the guy had to make them. And John got one because he'd organised it all. And the first day, a couple sold them. Oh, I'm not going to sell. The next day, they went ape and they sold every one of them because
Oh
there'll
yeah.
never be another one of them. Never another one of them. And yeah, and every now and then I get something special. I had one, the original photo of Eric, myself, and Charlie, just in our normal clothes when we first met for the very first time after 30 years nearly.
Okay.
And I had that, and I got them to sign it, and I only did 5 of them. And
Ooh.
I auctioned one off for a charity. Nick got $500 for the charity
Oh
from
yeah.
a fan.
I'd buy that. Shoot. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So the fan, he didn't just get that. I gave him other stuff. He's a really good fan, top guy, really, really, really nice guy in Australia, actually. An Australian guy. He's over in Western Australia, and he is the nicest guy. And yeah, but he's a really, really nice guy, and he chats to me all the time and gets all this gear and sends it over to me to sign. And I'll go, oh look, just yeah. And he's just met some really good people.
Hmm.
I'm lucky.
You have the best luck with the right place at the right time, and
Yeah.
it's well deserved though. You're an awesome stand up guy to just even do this. Like I can't
And
thank
I
you
was trying
enough.
to even at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm trying to be lively and kind of
You're fine. You're
like a,
fine.
like a yes, no, oh yeah, maybe. Like I try and give you a good answer.
Yeah, no, they're great answers. They're perfect
Yeah.
answers.
Anyway, I better go because I think I can hear in the background and they'll interrupt
I
us.
was gonna say,
So I'll better
yep.
say goodbye.
But thank you
Um,
so much for this. I really appreciate it,
that's
man.
all right, guys. And look, please just drop me a message. I'll answer back.
Yeah,
Um, and I'll chat away to you. Yeah, you might even get a Barry phone call.
I would love
Um,
that.
I've done the odd one for birthdays. People contact me and say, "Will you do one for my boyfriend's birthday or my husband's birthday?" That's how I met Tommy. I did a Tommy Tommy Murphy. I did a birthday call for Tommy, and I was actually in America at the time. I think I was doing a motorbike ride, and I was up in Daytona Beach because there was a big motorbike thing in Daytona Beach, and we rode the Harleys down to Miami, and then down to Key Largo, Key West.
Yeah.
Didn't see Trump in Key Largo. I was looking for him, but he wasn't there.
Oh.
And then I went to Key West, Florida City, Orlando, Naples, Orlando. Had a great ride. Okay, I'll let you go.
Oh yeah, yeah. You take care and just say hi to your friends
Not a
for me.
problem.
We really
Give us a
appreciate it.
call anytime. Give us a
Yeah.
call anytime.
All right. Have a
Yeah,
good one.
always.